Hi, today I'm going to read from Hope for Today, Courage to Change, and One Day at a Time in Al-Anon. And I am going to read August 13 readings. So if you want to follow me along, I'm reading from Hope for Today, August 13, page 226. Step 12 encourages me to practice these principles in all my affairs. Some of my affairs are financial ones, and a part of me thought I could manage them without the help of a higher power. Not only did I think I could handle my finances alone, separate from the principles of the program, but I also thought that if I made a certain amount of money from my work, I could tell God to go jump in a lake. I was still clinging to the notion that something, in this case a sum of money, was going to allow me to manage my life in my own way and on my own terms. The end result was ironic, but it made sense too. The more I asked God to help me achieve the goal that would finally eliminate my need for a higher power, the crazier I became. Finally, I realized what I was doing and went back to the first 3 steps. Once again, I accepted that my higher power would always be in charge of me and all of my affairs. Thought for today. When I rely on self-will, I severely limit all of my resources. When I turn to my higher power, those limitations fall away. Quote, "We become capable of directing our destiny by surrendering to a will other than our own." From Forum Favorites, Volume 3, page 40. Next reading is from Courage to Change, August 13, page 226. I put my sponsor on a pedestal. I looked to her for all the answers and saw her as my mother, friend, mentor, a goddess. She appeared to be more than I could ever be. She was perfect. One day she made a mistake and fell from the pedestal on which I had placed her. How could she be so human? How dare she display such imperfection? At first I felt frightened and abandoned, but my sponsor's slide from grace led me to see that I was responsible for my own Al-Anon program. I found that the answers she had given me were simply her own experience, strength, and hope, along with her understanding of the 12 steps of recovery. I learned that the tools of the program are available to me too. And I learned that, although she was my sponsor, we were both changing, stumbling, growing members of Al-Anon. Most importantly, I learned that setting a human being up to be perfect creates inevitable failure. Today's reminder: have I put someone on a pedestal? Am I encouraging anyone to have an exaggerated view of me? Al-Anon helps me see that while we offer mutual support, we must learn to rely on ourselves. Today, I will remember that my answers lie within me. Sponsorship is a friendship made up of 2 members learning from one another. 2 people learning a new way to live, one day at a time. Next reading is from One Day at a Time in Al-Anon, August 13, page 226. We suffer more than we need to, and often perhaps because we want to. Many of us reopen old wounds by dwelling on the past, what he or she did last week or last year. Many of us live in needless dread of what tomorrow will bring. An interesting and rewarding exercise for today might be to examine all the things that are hurting me at the moment. I will challenge their validity. to see if there is any basis for my bitterness or for that dread and fear. I'll probably discover, to my delight, that I have, right at this moment, more than enough reasons to be happy and contented. Today's reminder: why do I allow myself to suffer? Is there any meaning or validity to the items I am permitting myself to suffer from? What if he said this or she did that? Even if it was meant to hurt, it cannot reach the real me if I stand guard at the door of my mind. Quote, some of your hurts you have cured, and the sharpest you've even survived. But what torments of grief you've endured from evils which never arrived. By Ralph Waldo Emerson. Thank you for listening to me read from Hope for Today, Courage to Change, and One Day at a Time. And I hope you listen to my other videos or slide. I am only starting this. This is actually my very first video. I'm just trying it out to see if I have any audiences out there. I noticed that a lot of people newer to the program don't really understand what Al-Anon really is. And for me, I'm going to keep my anonymity, and I started attending Al-Anon in 2015, and I kept falling out because I didn't think I needed it, but it definitely is more than what I thought it was. And I just hope that if you want to gain clarity and if you want to experience strength and hope, that you keep listening and keep going to meetings, get a sponsor, and you will find serenity you never thought possible. Like the big book says, there's no misfortune that is too great to not warrant happiness in your life. So something like that. But hopefully, as I keep recording these recordings, that it will reach out many people out there who cannot afford to go to a meeting or who cannot afford Al-Anon literature, because these are very anonymous pieces of literature. And yeah. Okay, please hit subscribe and pass it along to your recovering friends who can't make a meeting, or people in remote areas that do not know this exists. Thank you, and have a great day. Bye.